Welcome to the very first version of my video online blog, The Word According to Me, AJ Tripp. Now I have a written online version of the blog, atriplet20.blogspot.com. Today I'm going to talk about ultimatums and how really ridiculous people use them. Now, in my opinion, ultimatums should be used for serious things. Maybe alcoholism or drug use or, verbal, physical abuse. Something that means seriousness. To use an ultimatum for petty stuff is one of my biggest pet peeves in the world. And guys, we do this a lot. But as I generalize here, I think mostly women do this. And I think they do this because, physiologically they always want to change us, I think. And I'm generalizing all of the box here, but just stay with me here for a minute. Because if you think about it, you never hear about a man giving a woman an ultimatum. They just they either internalize it and keep us in, or they go about their own. But these women, they sit up here and they give you ultimatums that for some just really ridiculous stuff. You're playing video games, you're playing fantasy football, you're hanging out with the guys too much. Things that compared to the other serious things I mentioned before, you should want in a guy. Realistically, I guess, you could say that, nobody's perfect, but the perfect person maybe wouldn't get stumbling down drunk every night, but maybe he also wouldn't play fantasy football. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but if that person does do that, if he does play fantasy football and doesn't go stumbling down drunk every night, come home stumbling down drunk every night, then why are you upset? Why? Now, I will say this. You have all the rights in the world to look for what you want to. I know I do. But if you're one of these people that, you try to let people, have their flaws, okay, fine. But then don't make them change their flaws, too, either. And I think sometimes that does happen. I think the bottom line is that you have to look at yourself, look at what you want in a person, in a friend, in a family member, whatever. And you need to realize that, if they're doing something you don't like and it's not as serious as it really is, then maybe you should just leave it alone. Deal with it if you can. If you can't deal with it, then you have to move on. You have to find another friend. You have to find another girlfriend. Family members, hey, you don't have to be around that family member all that time. However, please, and I mean this in the sincerest form, please do not think that I am advocating, you go and, tell that person that stop doing this so that you can do this other thing. No, I'm not trying to say that either. But I think you can come at it in a different way to where you can say, okay, I want you to play your video games, but I want you to spend time with me too. You understand? And, it's all about communication. And as long as you communicate, this world will be a better place for it. And in my future online blogs, I will be talking about how all of us need to communicate better with each other so that this world can be a better place. But right now I'm focusing on ultimatums, and I want to touch on one more topic with the ultimatum that I truly don't understand. And again, generalizing, women usually do this more, and that's the ultimatum of marriage. Why? Why would you give somebody an ultimatum to marry you? If you've been dating 3-4 years, let's just say 4 years, and you as a woman, well, actually, since I've been generalizing, let's go the other way. Since you as a man have been wanting to get married, but your girlfriend really hasn't thought about it. Okay, so you haven't had this talk yet, so you don't know that is coming, or I should say, since I'm doing it the man version, you've asked her maybe 1 or 2 times, and she said no, she's just not ready yet. Then when at some point do you say, okay, well, I have to look at myself and look at her, and once again come at it in a way of not an ultimatum, but just asking her to find out where she is, so that you can know whether you need to move on or wait a little longer. And I think you can do that. I think all of us can do that. We all have the ability to come off as, non-threatening. Some of us don't want to, but all of us, have the ability to do so. And I really think that's what I'm trying to get at here, because I see ultimatum as a form of control. And nobody likes the controlling person. Nobody wants to be with the controlling person. And if you give somebody an ultimatum and they, give into it, that can cause resentment. And when resentment festers, it festers into this big ball of hate. And then and to get rid of that hate, if that person starts doing those things I mentioned earlier, they start drinking, they start using drugs, they start being abusive, verbally, possibly even physically. And that is just wrong. So, I'm telling the world out there to use ultimatums wisely. Video games, fantasy football, sports, hanging with the boys, hanging with the girls. No. Think about it. Pick and choose your battles. But some of the more serious stuff, I think you have all the right in the world to use an ultimatum. But let me tell you something. Just as a man, pointedly speaking, I don't think I would ever get to this point. But if my wife and my kids, it means so much to me, and I knew that I was going to lose them because I was drinking a whole lot, I want to stop drinking. If I, especially if she told me that she was going to take the kids and run, I stopped. So serious, not petty. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. Once again, online written version, atriplet20.blogspot.com, and right here on the web, the first installment of The Word According to Me, AJ Trip, is done. Keep watching. Get some good stuff coming up later on in the time.